From the tallest of the piles of the dead came a monster. It burst forth from the dead like a great fish from the sea, and its bellow was so evil it could not possibly come from a godly creature. Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today we bring you SCP Foundation Keter Class Object SCP-4715. SCP-4715 is a large, six-legged carnivorous mammal with chimeric morphology standing at a minimum height of 5.2 meters and weighing 2,300 kilograms. Genetic analysis has been inconsistent, showing traces of modern wildlife, as well as Pleistocene-era and anomalous animals. It has a robust frame and a vaguely feline skull, with a carnivorous dental structure, stout muzzle, forward-set eyes, and a pair of large, backward-swept horns. Its primary forelimbs are long and end in proportionately large hands. It has 7 fingers, and each finger has a large semi-retractable claw. Its secondary forelimbs are multi-jointed and significantly longer, terminating in 3 heavily clawed fingers. Its hind legs appear ursine, and its tail is long and muscular, acting like a tripod for balance when standing on its hind legs. 4715 is extremely aggressive and has been observed attempting to attack most humans it has encountered. However, it has never been observed hunting or pursuing other organisms. Larger animals will avoid 4715, instinctively fleeing from its scent. 4715 displays a level of intelligence roughly on par with that of a chimpanzee, and displays an aptitude for the fashioning and usage of tools as weapons. 4715 is also highly intuitive. It can accurately read the emotional and mental state of human beings around it. If 4715 perceives a subject intending to harm another, including itself, it will rapidly gain mass proportional to the number of such subject. The most egregious breach saw 4715 reach a height of approximately 24 meters and a weight approaching an estimated 56,000 kilograms. But depictions in recovered historic artifacts suggest the potential to grow larger, given sufficient exposure to situations of conflict. This effect reverses quickly as soon as it can no longer sense the harmful intentions of others, and it radiates intense heat as its mass decreases. 4715 has been observed attempting to draw uninvolved individuals into states of conflict, just to increase its biomass, and often displays fascination and attraction towards states of conflict between human beings. Additionally, 4715 has proven highly resistant to most forms of conventional weaponry and physical trauma. It possesses reasonably consistent internal systems, and testing has shown that it does not require any form of nutrition to survive. It is resistant to most toxins, both artificial and naturally produced, as well as radiation and caustic or acidic chemical exposure. Oils produced beneath its fur and skin flame makes 4715 resistant to temperatures higher than 1600 degrees Celsius and below -150 degrees Celsius. The most reliable method of control appears to be lacrimatory agent, a chemical that will cause severe eye and respiratory pain, and capsicanoids, which it appears to have no particular resistance to. In addition to SCP-4715's considerable natural durability, it can regrow significant amounts of lost tissue, including limbs that have been lost in violent encounters. Repair and regeneration of injuries and trauma will always spread outwards from the central nervous system, and will take longer to repair the more significant it is. To date, nothing is proven capable of causing damage to 4715's cranium, vertebral column, or central nervous system, and nothing is proven capable of neutralizing its capacity for regeneration. The existence of 4715 was confirmed by Foundation following an event that happened in October of 1916, but there is evidence suggesting its origin dates back significantly further in history. Recovered documents originating from various groups of interest, historical artifacts, and archaeological finds suggest that SCP-4715 has existed in its present form for most of human history. In 1981, a large wood carving originating from the mid-14th century Prussia was sent to the SCP Foundation. It depicts 16 mounted Teutonic knights engaging in a cavalry charge against 4715. This is one of the earliest known depictions of 4715's size-altering effect known. If the scale of this depiction is correct, it depicts 4715 being 9.4 meters in height, while engaging 16 mounted knights. which is consistent with the size change displayed in modern observations. An engraving translated to read, "Banishing of the beast from the earth," is present beneath the image. In 2005, a series of proto-human cave paintings were discovered in the Ardèche region of France. These paintings consist of imagery of 4715 engaging in attacks upon humanoid figures, with many examples being surrounded by skulls and other symbolic imagery. Radiocarbon dating places the origin of these paintings at being approximately 32 to 30,000 years before present. And while an archaeological team was researching on 4715, a journal that seems to be the depiction of 4715 by a Chinese farmer was found, and was then confiscated by the Foundation. The journal has sketches and descriptions about a monster emerging from a large pile of battlefield casualties and proceeding to move at speed in the direction of Nanjing. The following is a translated passage from the journal. After the village was massacred and the soldiers moved on, there were many bodies still clinging to earthly possessions that could be of great aid to my family. Waiting for the cover of nightfall, the smell was even worse than usual for a massacred town, and it seemed in the light of the setting sun that the sea of corpses stretched as far as the eye could see. Then, from the tallest of the piles of the dead, came a monster. It burst forth from the dead like a great fish from the sea, and its bellow was so evil it could not possibly come from a godly creature. It shook the blood from its midnight hair and fled with haste to Nanjing. This discovery of LOI 517 Sigma has proven invaluable in not only broadening the knowledge of SCP-4715, but also in providing many of the current containment procedures implemented today. If it wasn't for the knowledge obtained from this site, SCP Foundation would likely still be trying to contain 4715 with automated gunfire and having to withstand containment breaches every few years. LOI 517 Sigma is a cave discovered by civilians in 2009, but was then further investigated by the Foundation. It was described as some kind of shiny bunker or Egyptian Colosseum in some caves, lit up by shiny plants. Investigation revealed that this structure was a long abandoned and dormant entrance to an organic complex. This complex has been determined to have served as the containment of 4715. There are minimal signs of damage to any of the structures, and the organic devices within are alive and powered, but inactive. A substructure at the bottom of the complex has been confirmed as once housing SCP-4715 and is constructed from indestructible plant material, inscribed with various designs bearing similarity to those found in various occult manuscripts and cave paintings. The structure features multiple redundant doors and linked security features, all of which are inactive. Rooms throughout the rest of the complex appear to be focused on providing research, administrative, and residential functionality, and show no sign of habitation. Throughout the complex are multiple images and descriptions of SCP-4715, depicting it engaging numerous instances of the original owners of LOI 517 Sigma and other unidentified entities in combat, in a manner largely consistent with modern observation, though some depictions show 4715 significantly larger than any previously recorded size. It is unknown if this is due to the artistic interpretations being inaccurate or if 4715 can indeed reach even larger sizes. Beyond those pertaining to containment, there are two notable sources of documentation regarding 4715 that may shed some light on the possible origin of it. The first document was found carved above the access ports on the structure comprising the containment chamber, formerly housing 4715. The text is well preserved, but sections have been rendered incomprehensible by large scratches obscuring the writing. It is hypothesized that it was carved as a failsafe in the event of power outage. And found in another document, a text was painted onto a wall within the complex beside a large organic mechanism with various interfaces. And it quote, "The day the flowers bloomed was long ago now. Our shining cities are gone. The surviving children turned to beasts of the earth. We are gone now. The children of the sun have turned our weapons upon themselves, and they sleep in the night. They know not of the demon born from war, and cast aside any tool that could turn aside its fury. Endless rotation ends now. May the hairless usurpers suffer at its hands and pay for their transgression. To any child of the night who finds my message, know that I have committed this crime to avenge our demise. You will not forgive me." It is pre-assumed that this text controlled the security or power of the complex. Along with this message, the skeleton of an SCP-1000 instance was discovered resting on the floor of the room with a hole in its skull. If you want to know more about SCP-1000, also known as Children of the Night, click here for the video. Analysis and radiocarbon dating of the skull suggests that the individual killed itself 34 to 33,000 years before present. But for now, SCP-4715 has been contained in the Containment Complex within Area 4715-23. Area 4715-23 is an underground compound located 315 meters below sea level, at an undisclosed location within Canada's Steinkine region, chosen for both its distance from the nearest city and proximity to LOL 517 Sigma. Stocks of materials required for Procedure 4715 Waning Moon are to be maintained on site. Procedure 4715 Waning Moon is a ritual that must be performed on the full moon of each month and requires the use of 1 D-Class personnel, hereby referred to as the Shaman, 60 kilograms of red meat, a hand-woven wicker basket, and human blood. The Shaman must be anointed with human blood and will then place the meat within the wicker basket. No other personnel may carry out this task. The Shaman will proceed to enter the containment chamber holding 4715 and place the meat on the ground before 4715. They will then prostrate themselves before the basket and recite the phrase, "This we offer for your continued torpor, flesh of your time, blood of my blood." The Shaman must remain prostrate and continue reciting the phrase until SCP-4715 has consumed the entirety of the meat. After consuming the meat, 4715 may or may not kill and consume the Shaman, but doing so does not indicate a failure of the procedure. If the Shaman survive, they are to retrieve the basket and exit the containment chamber. Failure to perform Procedure 4715 Waning Moon will result in an exponential increase in aggression from SCP-4715. To date, most of these attempts have been successful. The continued use of surviving shamans has been approved, along with reward, punitive, and incentive programs among the D-Class population held on site, in an effort to ensure the continued success of Procedure 4715 Waning Moon. An X-06 jumps on shore. She pushes her arm into its throat as it starts to claw at her. She pulls a knife from her belt and stabs it 3 times in the neck before shoving it off. Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you SCP Foundation Euclid Class Object SCP-4793. SCP-4793 is a male human dressed in a traditional armor of a Spartan hoplite during the Golden Age of Greece. 4793 appears to be in his late 20s and has been confirmed to be of Greek descent. 4793 has demonstrated heightened cellular reproduction within his body. If injured, the fibroblast found within him will produce collagen at an extremely accelerated rate, usually closing the wound within 2 minutes. 4793 was discovered by the Foundation in an exploration to a mountain cave, identified as SCP-4793-A in the south of Greece. 4793 is the entity that emerged from the relief carving on 4793-A. After the discovery, 4793 was transported to Site 20. In the Foundation, Director Jack Hargraves engaged in a series of program assessments and tests to explore the combat capabilities of 4793 with the hopes of adding him into MTF Alpha 9. 4793 performed exceedingly well against Captain Holly Shore. While initially requiring motivation, 4793 engaged Holly and started to cooperate in the exercise, especially when presented with a threat to Captain Shore's life. Director Jack Hargraves has assigned Captain Shore to work with 4793 on a weekly basis to establish a connection that can be utilized if needed. On the 28th of December 2018, while 4793 and Shore were doing their usual training, a massive avian creature known as X-06 breached from its containment and broke into Site 20. One of them tried to attack Shore, but was shot by 4793. It then flew away through a ventilation shaft. Shore and MTF Upsilon 11 were sent out to kill the creature. "You could have died. I can't let that happen." 4793 insisted on following. Shore descended the staircase and paused briefly at the door before opening it. The bodies of several creatures similar to X-06 could be seen lying in front of it, as well as several corpses clad in orange jumpsuits. The hallway was clear, but a barricade made of chairs and tables sat at the end. Shore, 4793, and Zimmerman climbed the barricade. As they turned the corner and hid behind makeshift barriers, a mixture of D-Class and security officers could be seen. Pausing for a moment, Shore turned to 4793. "When we send the D-Class up, you're going with them." "What about you and Zimmerman? Shouldn't you wait for backup?" "What backup? By the time another MTF shows up, it'll be too late. We need to blow the reactor." "But that's suicide." "This isn't about what I want anymore. If I don't fight, a lot more people are gonna get killed." "Then I'm coming with you." "No. Dying, I can deal with. Watching you lose yourself, I can't." Captain Shore turned away and walked towards a security officer. "What's the fastest way out of here?" "The freight elevator." "Well, why haven't you used it?" "We don't have cards for it. If a D-Class got one..." "Yeah, I get it. But my card works. So we're getting out of here. Now." A cheer went up from the assembled personnel. A ding was heard and the freight elevator doors opened. The crowd of D-Class pushed inside, accompanied by several security officers. "Get as far from this site as you can. It's gonna get hot in here soon." The doors closed, leaving only the MTF, 15 D-Class, and SCP-4793 in the block. Several minutes passed as the cable continued to reverberate. Several of the D-Class began to fidget. The cable snapped and the elevator plummeted down the shaft. After a few seconds, X-06s began to flood the room, attacking from the elevator shaft and the sides. The D-Class and MTF members opened fire. Shore fires at several X-06s and turns on another when her gun emits a click. She drew her handgun and started moving back towards the door to the office. 4 X-06 crawlers began to move towards her. She terminated 2 of them before tripping on an unknown obstacle. "Holly!" An X-06 jumped on Shore, and she pushed her arm into its throat as it started to claw at her. She pulled a knife from her belt and stabbed it 3 times in the neck before shoving it off. An unknown force dragged Shore backward. Shore was pulled closer to the office door. "It's me. Stop fighting. Ace and I are gonna blow the reactor. You won't make it there." The hand of an X-06-2 reached up and grabbed onto the leg of a D-Class personnel. He looked down at it, let out a swear, and was pulled off his feet into the elevator shaft. Zimmerman dove and grabbed his hand. He managed to hold the personnel for a few seconds before being dragged into the shaft himself. 4793 grabbed Shore and pulled her into the office, slamming the door behind them. "You can't save them." "I have to kill all of these damn things." "No, Holly. Remember the first thing you said to me?" "What?" "We're the Foundation. We keep people safe. Here's people. Keep them safe." 4793 pushed Holly and she stumbled into the elevator. "Hold her! Don't let her out!" Several D-Class grabbed Captain Shore and held her. SCP-4793 turned back to look at Captain Shore as the elevator doors closed. "No!" "I'm sorry." 4793 was sitting against a wall, with his sword and shield sitting to the side. He picked up a camera mounted on a combat helmet. "Hey Holly, I hope this message gets to you, somehow. It's been about 2 hours since I last saw you. I hope it isn't the last. I don't know what to say. So much to say, so little time. I was born to a farmer and grew into a warrior. I battled Ares to a standstill. I won wars single-handedly. Then I met my wife. We were set to claim the world. 2 immortals who wanted to bring a chaotic world some semblance of peace. And then Ares killed her. I lost everything. And now I'm here, alone, adrift a stranger surrounded by even stranger things. But within you, I see the spark I saw in her, a burning desire to make the world better. It makes me want to be better, and I don't know if you feel the same, or whether I'll get out of here. But I will fight for you, die if I have to. I love you. Suddenly, a voice came from above where 4793 was sitting. Welcome, Androcles. Did you know there's another Androcles? A Roman, but I digress. He plucked the thorn out of a lion's paw. Years later, when he was thrown into the arena by a cruel Caesar, the lion recognized him and spared his life. Why are you telling me this? I am the lion. You saved my father, so I will grant you this boon. Leave now, and none of us will harm you. I know you have a loved one up above. What? So you can kill everyone? Kill? My short-sighted brother, we don't wish to kill anyone. As our father proclaimed, we will roam the earth, seeking and capturing the anomalous. Why did you call me brother? Our father used your blood to create us. It holds the power that allows us to multiply with such ease, to grow as fast as we do. We are brothers in everything but name. I can't let you leave here, not after seeing this. How will you stop me? By sacrificing yourself? By losing yourself bit by bit as you track us all down? SCP-4793 punched the wall and removed a section of rebar with a piece of concrete at the end. Instantly, it transformed into a concrete greatsword. I know who I am. I am Androcles, beloved of Ares, warrior of Greece. But I am also Androcles, the protector and friend. I know who I am, and nothing will change this. The central facility of Site-20 was destroyed in a nuclear explosion of unknown magnitude. In the reactor room, no trace of SCP-4793 was discovered. SCP-076-2 will enter a trance state and seek out the nearest human being. Upon coming into contact with living humans, he will enter a rage state in which it attempts to engage and kill all human beings encountered. To date, only his death has been shown to be effective in ending these rampages. Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you a SCP Foundation Keter-class object, SCP-076. SCP-076 consists of two components, a stone cube, SCP-076-1, and a humanoid entity contained within, SCP-076-2, also known as Abel. 076-1 is a 3-meter cube made of black speckled metamorphic stone. All surfaces outside and within 076-1 are covered in deeply engraved patterns corresponding to no known civilizations. Radioisotope analysis indicates that the object is approximately 10,000 years old. A door is located on one side, sealed with a lock 0.5 meters in width, surrounded by 20 smaller locks in a circular pattern. As of yet, none of the keys have been found, making the door impossible to lock once closed. Interior temperature is approximately -180 degrees Celsius and cannot be altered by any means, internal or external. Directly in the center of the room is a 2.13 meter tall stone coffin, held in place and sealed shut by several chains of unknown make and substance, which are attached to the inner corners of 076-1. SCP-076-2 resembles a lean, Semitic human male in his late 20s. Hair is black and eyes are gray, skin tone olive. He is 1.96 meters in height and 81.65 kilograms in weight. Numerous tattoos depicting arcane and occult iconography are present all over the body, mostly in the form of leering demonic faces, and ranges from subtle to openly ostentatious. When encased inside 076-1, he is technically dead. However, occasionally 076-2 will awaken, effectively reanimating, complete with all vital processes needed to sustain a living human being. He will then attempt to leave 076-1. If successful, he will enter a trance state and seek out the nearest human being, ignoring all other living things in the process. Upon coming into contact with living humans, 076-2 will enter a rage state in which it attempts to engage and kill all human beings encountered. To date, only his death has been shown to be effective in ending these rampages. SCP-076 was found in Mongolia in the 19th century by archaeologists from England. All members of the expedition were subsequently killed on the return voyage home. 076 was recovered from the ship of an unknown organization and placed on display in their inner sanctum. 076 remained in storage for years, until 076-2 became active and escaped on his own. The reason for SCP-076's activation is currently unknown, but it was at this point that the keys to the outer shell were lost. A massive manhunt lasting over 3 years took place until 076-2 was incapacitated, killed, and reformed inside SCP-076-1, by then retrieved and secured by agents of the SCP Foundation. 076-2 was in custody for 3 more years, under constant supervision, and was terminated whenever it became active, although it occasionally was able to escape for short periods of time, often due to security breaches caused by attacks from other organizations. SCP-076-2 either possesses a mind constructed much differently than our own or is completely insane. 076-2 has shown that he is completely disinterested in sex, barely differentiating between genders except as a form of visual identification. Also, 076-2 is a perfect sociopath that enjoys the act of killing, but causing pain, either emotionally or physically, holds no attraction to it. Intelligence tests have been wildly inconclusive when applied to 076-2, and no accurate result has yet been obtained. This is due to the fact that no communication is possible with 076-2 when he is in his rage state. However, 076-2 displays knowledge of several languages, including English, but most notable is its knowledge of several dialects of ancient Sumerian, which seem to be its preferred language. Considering SCP-076-2's proficient use of the Sumerian language, researchers have asked him to translate several documents. While he originally replied with disinterest, he has translated some of the documents it found worthy of its attention. Most of the documents chosen by 076-2 were regarding battles or legendary heroes, one of his favorites being the Epic of Gilgamesh. However, one researcher presented 076-2 with the symbol from SCP-073. Upon sight of this, 076-2 became highly enraged, killing several of the researchers before its kill switch could be activated. When questioned about this, 076-2 responded aggressively, and that line of questioning was immediately dropped. It is recommended anything pertaining to SCP-073 never be brought to the attention of SCP-076-2, and that the two are never to be in the same facility. Terminating 076-2 is often problematic due to its significant physical abilities. 076-2 has superhuman strength and speed, and although not invulnerable, he has shown a remarkable ability to ignore pain and shock, pressing on despite what would be debilitating wounds in normal humans. Prior encounters have shown that SCP-076-2 has the ability to rip through a reinforced steel security door over the course of 4 minutes of sustained assault. He could take multiple 50 caliber BMG rounds to the head and survive for several minutes to continue killing, despite severe damage to the cerebellum. He could also swat handgun and assault rifle caliber bullets out of the air with a length of steel rebar. Foundation's personnel have also seen him clear over 64 meters of distance in under 3 seconds, and survived for over 1 hour deprived of oxygen before finally asphyxiating. SCP-076-2's most unusual ability, however, is his ability to apparently materialize bladed weapons out of nowhere. Slow-motion video footage reveals that the blades in question are actually pulled from a miniature dimensional rift described as a small hole in space. Where this portal led is unknown, as is how 076-2 can generate said rifts. Footage of the blades in question shows them to be made out of a completely non-reflective black material appearing as a black void in space. As the blades rapidly vanish after leaving the subject's possession, no structural analysis is possible at this time. However, having superhuman ability doesn't make him indestructible. 076-2 has effectively been killed several times in various manners, such as sustained fire from multiple heavy caliber machine guns, asphyxiation, crushed beneath a 13.6 metric ton piece of elevator equipment, and cremation through the use of a thermate TH3 grenade placed directly inside SCP-076-2's open chest cavity. Upon death, 076-2's remains will putrefy rapidly until reduced to dust. 076-1 and the coffin within will then slam shut with great force, and the lock will rotate, sealing it shut. 076-2 will then reform within the coffin. This process takes anywhere from 6 hours to 25 years. 076-2 has nothing but contempt for human beings, with one exception. He seems to hold a wary respect for those it acknowledges as its superior. This was discovered when a Foundation's agent who had previously had a large amount of experience with 076-2 did not appear once it escaped. 076-2 seemed distressed, asking several personnel where the agent was hiding. When he knew that the agent was killed as collateral damage in an airstrike intended to halt the advance of another SCP entity, SCP-076-2 stopped its rampage and allowed itself to be escorted and restrained. When asked about the sudden drastic changes in his behavior, 076-2 replied, "Because unlike you, he was a challenge, a real enemy. He managed to shoot me in the head over several times. A man like that deserves to die in combat, not in some destruction ordered by cowardly kings and princes safe in their palaces. The rest of you, you disgust me. I don't even have the urge to strike you down." This indicates a possible psychological inlet into SCP-076-2's mind and a possible control mechanism. Due to his high intelligence and physical abilities, he was put into an elite unit set up by the SCP Foundation, named Mobile Task Force, MTF Omega-7, nicknamed Pandora's Box, tasked with containing supernatural, alien, and other mysterious phenomena. 076-2 was the leader of this task force, and members of the team personally selected from elite field agents by 076-2 himself in order to maintain a smooth relationship between the artifact and the mundane elements of the task force. 076-2 must wear a device attached to the neck that, if triggered or tampered with, will immediately detonate, terminating 076-2 by way of complete destruction of the spinal cord, trachea, and all major blood vessels in the neck. A tracking device also has been attached to 076-2. It was to refrain from killing unless ordered to do so and to avoid causing damage to the organization's facilities. Team members must be armed and equipped in accordance with MTF doctrine, as 076-2 has shown no inclination to use firearms, or in fact, no understanding of their use or tactical implications. He was instead to be armed with one or more edged melee weapons of his choice. In a Project Omega-7's report, SCP-105 had been accepted into Mobile Task Force Omega-7, having beaten 076-2 in a contest to see which of the two could activate several devices, each spaced over a mile away from each other and the starting point. SCP-105 managed to score significantly higher than 076-2 by using her inherent abilities to her advantage. 076-2 ceded defeat and allowed her entry into the group. Despite the Foundation's effort in keeping 076-2 busy with trainings and tasks, he was still not satisfied. He's a perfect killing machine, and that's all he wants to do. The problem is, Foundation can't seem to turn him off. He started to lash out at the other team members. He then disabled the explosive collar failsafe and gone out of control. Containment Area 25 was forced to detonate its on-site warhead as a last attempt to contain SCP-076-2. This resulted in destruction of the site and all on-site personnel. SCP-076-2 is now kept in Containment Area 25B, located 200 meters below sea level, tunneled out of solid bedrock in a seismologically stable area. Sole access to the containment facility is to be through a vertical elevator shaft separated every 50 meters with a reinforced blast door constructed of 20-centimeter thick material shielding. Elevator shaft shall be flooded with seawater when not in use. Containment Area 25B is to be constructed with an outer security perimeter against outside threats, staffed by security personnel trained in close-quarters battle and counter-intrusion tactics. A primary containment zone is to be designed to be flooded and drained as needed, and should remain filled with seawater unless access to contents is required. Also, a 150-meter killing corridor, which is to be the sole access to the primary containment zone. A security station located at the entrance to the killing corridor is to be staffed with no fewer than 3 armed security personnel on watch at any one point in time. In the event of a full breach, All on-site staff are to proceed immediately to the closest security station for weapons and armor distribution. Staff will remain at Alert Condition 1 until SCP-076-2 is confirmed neutralized. Should 90 minutes pass after declaration of full breach without a stand-down order being given by Level 4 or higher personnel, final contingency measures will be activated, flooding the entire facility in seawater and sealing off the access shaft for a minimum of 24 hours before retrieval is attempted. This will, by necessity, result in the deaths of all on-site staff. Before we end this video, we are proud to present these incredibly sweet pieces of fan art. A big thank you to all of you. You can now send us your fan art, and we will be more than happy to show off your best art piece in our next video. Check out our description below on how to submit. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Which SCP do you want to see in the next video and why it is interesting? Let us know in the comment below. We will draw your story and share it with the world. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Please share it to your friends if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.